Okay guys, today we're going to talk a little bit more about karma. But I do want to acknowledge the positive feedback that I got from the last video. I didn't expect that. And the reason I didn't expect it is because just a few short years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that's not a concept that anybody would even go near, like let alone consider. So to me, that's a pretty clear indication that we are shifting much faster than I originally thought we were. But anyway, I felt like last time I went off more on what karma is not than what karma actually is. And I'd kind of like to touch on that a little bit more today. What karma actually is. Well, okay. See, the part that irritates me the most is that even with the most light-hearted, loving, benevolent religions, they still have to figure out a way to make you afraid. They still have to throw some fear in there. And that is what gets on my nerves, probably more than anything. You're gonna have to repay your dues. You have to. You have no choice. Yes, you do. You are not forced to do any of this outside your will. Every single thing that goes on, especially in these low densities, 3D, 4D, are very, you knew about it before you got here. You have either been here many, many times and you were very, very aware of it and you chose to come here because you thought it was going to be awesome, or at the very least, especially if you're a volunteer who's never been here and all you're here to do is raise the vibration of the planet, especially, you were warned. You were warned that, hey, that Earth place, oh man, that's some pretty intense shit. I don't know, you might want to reconsider it before you go there. I've heard some stories about that place. I've been there before, you know, something like that. But either way, there's nothing here that you weren't aware of at some level before you got here. So if you choose to come back, it's because you choose to. You're in charge. You're the boss. You're the God. You are the one who decides either, man, that was awesome, I want to go do that again, or maybe if it's an emotional tie, like a lot of people say, oh, there's these karmic experiences with emotions and whatnot. It's not that serious of a deal. You get up there and you're hanging out with your soul homies and you're like, well, shit, that didn't work. Tell you what, let's go try it again, but this time you be the bully, I'll be the victim, and we'll see if we can work it out that way. You know what I'm saying? And then that doesn't work and you come back up here and we're like, damn it, still didn't work. Well, let's go back and try it again, and on and on and on the karmic wheel goes. So that's what bothers me though about like Hinduism and Buddhism and some of the religions out there that are to me, if I was to be a religious person, are probably the only religions that I could hang with. Like I do a lot of practices. I do still practice a few things from different religions, especially Hinduism and Buddhism. I really, really like, you know, some of their beliefs and their just things that they do, you know, in the religion and the way they look at things. But it bothers me that they have to sprinkle fear in there, and they have so many people who are very, I hate using the word enlightened. I hate that word. But have broken many mental shackles, but they still have that little bit of fear in there. You know, that little, oh, you're going to have to come back and repay what you did wrong. No, you're not. Now, this right here, what I'm about to say, is going to test to see where you guys are at. Because I would like to go off and start going off more on some more spiritual topics and more awakening and enlightening, all that bullshit. Well, anyway, this right here is going to really test to see where you're at and see if you can actually hang with it. It is very within the realm of possibility that, say, Hitler, when he died, went up there, had his little life review, and when the part of it came around where he had to experience from the perspective of everybody he encountered his actions, had to experience, you know, the result of his actions and his, you know, you understand where I'm going with this. It's very possible that if he chose to, he could have said, and to hell with that game, I don't even like it. Pew! He's gone. He didn't have to come back here and experience none of that if he didn't want to. I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear that. That's going to be like, oh no, you know, ooh, you know. No, you don't. You're not forced to do any of this. Everything in this game is your choice. This game, I use the word game because a lot of people don't understand that this universe is only one game. This universe, this 3D, 4D, 5D, all the densities and dimensions, the gods, the demigods, the angels, the demons, the goddesses, the Pleiadians, the star systems, the this and all that, everything that's in this universe is only one game. That right there was what makes a lot of people's eyes roll back in their head and their tongue fall out and blood starts shooting out of their nose because they for some reason either don't want to, can't surrender some belief systems because it would make their butt hurt too bad or something. But this is only one game. And you're not forced to do anything here. The only way that anything has power over you is if you let it. And the only way you let that happen is if you're afraid of something. You have to be afraid of something or there is no power over you. I can remember, if I could say that I pull one vivid memory away from my NDE, when I was on the other side, and when I say the other side, I was just on the next density, just one little vibrational area just away from this right here, just enough to where we can't see it. I was over there. I mean, I could quite literally see through the veil and see into this, and it was blurry through it. It was like a piece of saran wrap, but it was just right over there. I can very vividly remember I was sitting there looking face to face with these dark beings, you know, the evil spirits a lot of people would call them. And no sooner than I had the thought that, I'm bored, pew, I was gone. I was gone and into some other realm or whatever that place was. But the point of it is the main thing that makes this as intense as it is fear. The more fear, the more intense. The less fear, the less intense, and the lighter and the fluffier it is. It's less intense. Time passes faster, you know, the way we perceive it. But the more fear is in there, the more linear time slows down and stretches, you know, slower, the more intense this is. It's fear that makes that happen. And it's put that way for a very specific reason. I just don't like this game. I don't like duality. I don't like it. I don't know how many times I've been here. I don't think it's been very many though, because this is just stupid game. I don't like it. But regardless, now a lot of people ask, you know, what about the children? That's probably the most common question that people ask. What about children? Well, what do you think? Do you think when you go up there to Source and you agree to come experience something, whether it's good or bad, that it just happens to be when you're a grown adult and nobody gives a shit about you? Do you really think that we think like humans over there? No. We don't have those emotions over there. That's why I said in the last video that emotions is one of the things we come here to experience, because these emotions we have here, they don't even exist over there. A lot of people don't agree with that either. I don't care what you agree with. I've been over there. There were no emotions when I was over there. There was no fear, there was no happiness, there was no sadness, there was no anxiety, there was no nothing. It was just here and now is all it was, is all it felt like. So, but okay, anyway, let's go on ahead to the next thing to wrap this video up. I'm going to actually show you an example of what I was talking about in that video. This is a Facebook post. See if you can read that. Those who do wrong to you eventually face their own karma. Dun, dun, dun. No, they don't. That is the law of attraction. I'm going to break it up into a couple of different groups here in order to explain this, okay? When it comes to having an antagonist and a victim, let's go ahead first of all and look at it from the antagonist point of view. When somebody goes around doing wrong to lots of people, and then bad things start happening to them, that's not because Captain Karma hopped off their shoulders and went and whooped his ass. That was not his punishment for what he did wrong to those people. What happened was, wouldn't you agree that when somebody goes around doing lots of bad things to people, they're probably in a pretty low frequency. When you're in a low frequency, you're thinking lots of negative thoughts. And the negative thoughts cause the low frequency, and the low frequency causes the negative thoughts. It's this nasty wheel that you jump on that's really, really hard to break, okay? And that's what causes the bad things to happen to them. There's not a God out there that's external from you going, I got your back. Don't you worry. I'm going to protect you from anything that comes along and does something wrong to you. That's not how it happens at all. Now let's look at it from the victim's point of view. This is the one that pisses me off the most. Because, as I've said before, oh, poor me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I was just sitting here enjoying my lemonade, my ham sandwich, and something just came up and bopped me upside the head and stole my money. Well, that is also the law of attraction. Or that could be karma. That could be. That could very easily be something that you, up in source, did to somebody in a past lifetime. You went up there to source and you said, well, what was that like? Oh man, it was like this and blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah? Dude, that sounds awesome. Let's go do it again. Only this time you bop me in the head and you take my money. I think that'd be cool. That'd be a neat little thing to experience. So if karma is anywhere in play there, it's your karma. If something bad happens to the person after they do something to you, that's not their karma. That's the law of attraction. They're in a low, dense frequency to begin with. And okay, one last thing. I got one last question for you. How many times have you been that person that the finger was being pointed at? How many times have you been, somebody pointed a finger at you and said, karma's gonna get you. Karma's gonna get you. And then shortly after that, or just whenever, the next time something bad happened to you, what was the first thought in your head? Was it, dadgummit, I'd be damned, karma sure got me. It did. Oh, I better think twice before, you know. No, that's not what you thought, because that's not what happened. That is not at all what happened. You know, anything that happens to anybody, if it's karma, let's just say it's the real karma, what karma really is, a voluntary exchange of experiences from lifetime to lifetime. If it's karma, it's your karma. If karma is anywhere in play and something bad happens to you, it's your karma. The karma doesn't take place within the same lifetime. Law of attraction does, which is two completely, totally different things. But karma is a voluntary exchange of experiences from lifetime to lifetime. Voluntary. You don't have to come experience it if you don't want to. Now, the most efficient way to get off the karmic cycle, which is voluntary, what ties it together is emotional bonds. Any kind of emotion. Resentment, you know, hatred, love, you know. A lot of that is what ties it together. So the most efficient way to break that cycle is to forgive people. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't care what they did to you. You have to forgive them. You have to. I don't care what they did to you. I don't care. You have to forgive them and you have to let it go. Because the chances are very likely that that emotional tie of resentment, when that carries on up there to source, it's going to bring you two together and you're going to be talking. And it's very likely that you could choose to say, well, yeah, you could be persuaded. You can be persuaded. You could be, okay, well, yep, yeah, let's go try it again. And then that's how the wheel starts. And then you come back up to source and you and your buddies are like, well, shit, that didn't work. Well, let's go try it again. But this time, let's see, I'll be the victim and you be the bully. And go down there, come back up, well, shit, still didn't work. Oh, I got a better idea. Let's go try it again. And then on the wheel goes. But if you go ahead and break that emotional tie now, and then the bond is severed. It's not really, there's less likely of a chance that that cycle is going to carry on. And it'll be easier for you to break away from it there and choose if you want to, which is what I'm going to do. Get the hell out of this game because I don't like duality at all. Anyway, yeah, I just had to expand on that a little bit deeper. I have a pretty vast array of videos that are coming out this week. Yeah. I have a product review to do. I have another Aquarius video to do that I think you guys are going to like a whole lot. And I got a few different things to talk about. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Pretty long video. So you guys just have a good day. Today's it's going to be thunderstormy is why I'm inside here. So anywho, have a good day.